Welcome to the October Piemonte case preview. This is Bass Bottle Wine Club case. It's going out on the 21st of October. So if you'd like to add anything to your case, if you are already on this case, please let us know as soon as possible. 20th is the very latest, but the warehouse is full tilt, so the earlier the better. Thank you very much. And the deliveries will be made on the 22nd. The tasting is on the 23rd. So small bottle tasting and the large bottles, both are available as I speak right now. It's very exciting. 6 brilliant wines. Watch the rest of the preview to find out if you want to get involved, even if you're not a member. You can still buy the case, you can still buy the small bottles. This is the last Piemonte case that is going out in this format. Watch your space. We're just re-evaluating how this case works. Anyway, the 6 bottles that are in this case are CANTINA, TOGLIANA, CAREMA RISERVA 2019. 19 is an epic vintage. We were at the CAREMA tasting in the village last night. There's one of the... Achille's making some of the great CAREMA, full stop. It's brilliant wine. He only makes... It's under 400 bottles. He makes 1 barrel of this wine, the CAREMA RISERVA. Don't get overexcited. There is only 1 barrel, and we're buying 1/3 of that barrel. It's 100%, the grape they call it here is, they call it Picotendro, and it is Nebbiolo. It's pure Picotendro, and they're grown on trellises on the side of the mountain. The profile of flavours that you get from this style of Nebbiolo are entirely different to the ones that you get in the Langhe. Here you get the tannins are more silk, they're lighter, the acidity is a bit higher. They're picking later. The way the vines are grown up on these high trellises is entirely different to the Gio style that you find down at the Langhe. The style of the wines is, for me, this is the closest to Pinot-esque style wine that you get in Italy. It's astonishing. It's more Pinot Noir than Pinot Noir. Anyway, great wine. Really hope you enjoy it. And then for the second red wine, this is brand new. VERCELLINO. Lorenzo makes wine just outside of Biella, and he only makes a few thousand bottles. So again, where more than Achille makes. Achille needs a second job, but Lorenzo just works full time. He does everything. His sister has horses, so those horses provide the manure. He does all of the vineyard work. Vineyards were planted by his grandfather, mainly, and they're a bit of a mix, so there's a bit of Barbera kicking around and things as well. And this is from the 22 vintage, which wasn't the easiest vintage, but it's an astonishing wine. It's bottled as Coste della SESIA, but the actual village is Valdengo, and Valdengo sits almost to the side of Lessona, so it's the soils are very similar. He's got a few very small sites. The yields are minuscule. To give you some idea, you know, planting, the pH is so low here, so the acidity is so high that the poor young vines, you know, usually you get a wine on the 4th year of production. Here they're not seeing anything for 5 or 6 years. And to realistically make a high quality red wine, they're not getting anything for nearly a decade. So this is an incredibly hard place to make wine. Lorenzo's doing it with incredible intelligence, thoughtfulness. These are great wines in the making, really magnificent. Then the next wine is another young man, actually, Gabrielle Cordero. He's got a very famous father who's a big consultant in the Langhe, but Gabrielle makes the wine in the family estate, which his grandparents owned. He's making a very small quantity, and he does some contract wine making as well. But this particular wine, the main wine of the ROERO is just a little bit further north than Barolo, and the main wine is Anise. And he does make an extraordinary Anise. We've put it into a Vini Curiosity case before now, and it's called Inav. And he's going for a very almost Riesling-like style, so hydrocarbon. It's very good wine. Anyway, the main wine of ROERO is ROERO Anise, but there is also some ROERO Nebbiolo. Much smaller quantity of the Nebbiolo than there is of the white wine. which might be a good thing at the moment. You know, for a long, long time, we all looked at this and thought, poor guys, you know, they're next door to Barolo and Barbaresco. They've got pretty much the same terroir. They've got the same kind of, they have got the same climate. But they're having to make white wines, which were getting half the price of the reds. But right now, it seems that white's coming into fashion in Italy, so they're in a really good place. The red wine, though, I think this stood out for me. I first tasted it 4 or 5 years ago at Grandi Langhe, and it stood out as one of the most impressive Nebbiolos, and that's in amongst all of the great Barolos and Barbarescos. It's a proper standout wine. Well worth trying. Gabriele is still very young, and he's, with any luck, he's coming to the tasting actually in London. He should be. As should Lorenzo, if he sorts his passport out. Lorenzo, if you watch us, sort your passport out. Right, then we go to last 3 wines, which are all from the Langhe, and this is brilliant. You're going to love this. So the first one's Lapo Berti, who we've done his wines before. We've shipped them regularly. And this is from the single vineyard of Fossati, and it's the 2020 vintage, so classic lockdown wine. Just truly epic. You know, this is very natural winemaking, but made with such precision, you know, much like Romani Conti being natural winemaking, that it's not about being natural winemaking, it's just about being brilliant wine. And he does make epic wine, Lapo. And then we've started buying also from CARLO REVELLO. And Carlo's making wine with his son, Eric. Eric's really making the wine now. And we've bought 2 Barolos from him this time. So we're going to compare 2 different styles from 2 different crus. So it's a tasting of 3 really great Barolos. The second is the Annunziata. So we've got the Rocche Annunziata, and that's the Riserva, and that's spends 2 years in barrique. So not usually the style of Barolo that we're renowned for buying, but it's an astonishing wine. It's 2017 vintage, so hot vintage, coming off the back of the 16s, which is one of the most highly regarded vintages of the last few decades. I really like the 17s because there's still good water in the soils. The grapes didn't suffer any stress at all. They came in super clean. The quality of the fruit is extraordinary. It's super good wine. And the other wine we have is BOIOLO. Again, it's a next door cru, made more classically, aged in Botte Grande. Superb wines. You know, it depends how you put this. So they're moving back towards fermentation in cement or steel and aging in Botte Grande. And this is essentially the format which Eric's looking towards for his wines. Winemaking's immaculate. They've got a collection of, they've got 7 hectares, all on great crus around La Mora. Really exciting business, actually. And they're making great wine. So for a comparison between 3 Barolos, I think all 3 are astonishing value. Yeah, they're not cheap, of course they're not. But they're very good value for the quality of the fruit. And we've got 3 different vintages to taste and 3 different crus. It's going to be a really good tasting, actually. I'm looking forward to it already. So, as I said before, it's available online. Come and grab it. Tasting comes up on the 6th of November, which is our Piemonte tasting at Smith Square. If you've got any questions at all, just give me a shout. It'd be a pleasure to have a chat. Okay, speak to you soon. All the best. Bye.